When I was a kid, our family had two consoles, PS2 Slim and a Famiclone, preloaded with bunch of games, one of them being Super Mario Bros. Being a kid, I never got that far in the game. The farthest I've gone was likely World 3, maybe 4. It was a simpler time, back when eating mushrooms had a completely different connotation. It wasn't until a couple of years ago that I finally beat the game on Switch. The game was as good as I remembered. But was my assessment of the game clouded by nostalgia? The only way to find out is to play the game now. Having played every modern 2D Mario games, will my familiarity with modern polish hinder my ability to enjoy this game? There's many ways to play this game. It's available on so many platforms it's hard to count. So I went with a setup that has modern conveniences but mimics original experience as much as possible. The first thing that stuck out to me was the difficulty. Looking at the level layout doesn't do justice on how difficult this game can be. Levels aren't too difficult, but the controls are horrendous. It's funny for me to say that, as I grew up with this game. This was the only Mario game that I knew or played for the vast majority of my childhood. But after several years of modern Mario, it's quite difficult to go back to what started it all. Mario is slippery, his run jump is too fast, which threw me off several times. The hitbox and Mario's interaction with the world is wonky at best. Adjusting Mario's position has caused the most unexpected fails during my playthrough. You move Mario pixel by pixel, which translates well on a modern game with game resolution usually matching or close enough to the TV resolution. NES games were 240p. Trying to scale the image to 1080p or 4K televisions results in one pixel being 16 to 81 times bigger. So moving Mario in this game, your expectation of where Mario should be doesn't match where he ends up being. For years, my brain has been trained on modern games on modern televisions, so this took some time to get used to. 1-1 and a couple early levels have become so iconic that it needs no comments. They are simply excellent. What I will comment is Nintendo's reusing levels. I never noticed it until this playthrough, but they reuse levels a lot. Overlaying levels on top of another clearly shows this. They tweaked the early levels in later worlds to make them more difficult, and maybe this was acceptable back then, but this feels a bit lazy to me. Maybe there was some kind of a limitation as to why they reused it. Hopefully they don't do this in the sequel. Oh, never mind. The game consists of 8 worlds with 4 levels each, making it 32 levels in total. Removing all duplicates makes it 27 levels. Qualities vary between levels and some levels do show its age. For the longest time, I've considered this game to be linear since you can go back, and unlike future Mario games, this game doesn't have any collectibles like 3 big coins hidden around the level. But to my surprise, there are so many hidden elements throughout the game. Hidden blocks, vines, 1-ups, warp pipes, and warp zones. Even with technical limitations, Nintendo hid secrets for players to explore. This clash between technical limitation versus developers' desire is shown in level 6-2. To get to this level, you need to play at least 6 levels, and without any warp zones, 17 levels. And this level is packed to the brim. There are underwater, underground, and sky sections hidden via warp pipes and hidden vines, all in a game where you can't go back. It's both impressive and bizarre since most players would miss out on these secrets. The only reason I found this was when I was comparing levels to find duplicates. If I hadn't done this, I would have never known. But what happens when a level is designed around the technical limitation? You get the puzzle sequence. These are levels where you need to go to the right path to escape the loop. Simple puzzle that builds the atmosphere of the castle levels. It's an excellent addition to the game. These two strikingly different approaches to dealing with technical limitations can be off-putting. One could argue that it's a bad game design, but others may appreciate Nintendo's effort to try every possible options. Sure, it can feel all over the place, but I appreciate the variety and options they have given players. If you don't want to explore, you don't have to. Time limit, starting with 3 lives, with no easy way to obtain 1-ups, other than the infinite 1-up trick. It has all the perks of old school video game. Sometimes, those perks can deter players from playing. But Super Mario Bros. Has enough charm to bring old and new players. It's not a flawless game, but it still holds up. Using 5 metrics to determine the score, this game gets 95. It's an excellent masterpiece from the past that does have its faults, but once shining star, always shining star. That's it for now. Bye.